Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Diamond Report podcast on the All Sports Focus Network. I'm here with my two co-hosts, Sam and Jace. Say what's up, fellas.
What's up, everyone? How's it going?
We will be joined by two other co-hosts on the other episodes with Gage and Alex. They are unable to make it tonight, so it'll just be the three of us. But today we're going to be previewing a little WBC as that starts in about 2 days here. And then we'll be doing a little season preview with predicting division winners and the award winners. So we're going to jump right into it with the WBC preview. I feel like this is the perfect time for the sport of baseball for this to be happening after everything that just went down with the Olympic hockey team. I mean, I feel like this is just going to grow the sport of baseball right before the season starts. This is like absolutely flawless timing. So the first real question I have written down here, I'm going to ask Jace here first. Jace, do you think U.S. is like the clear-cut favorite, or do you think another team is like just equally as good?
Clear cut? I want to say yes, but like, I don't know. So you have Japan, who obviously with Shohei and Yamamoto alone, they're really good. But like, other than that, you still have like the DR, who Dominican Republic has a lot of good bats. Pitching, they have some good pitchers too, but their bats are ridiculous. So I think there's definitely like a couple other teams that could win it, but I think like the USA are the favorites, but like not by a long shot.
Okay. Sam, I'm going to ask you the same question then. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jace with basically everything he said. US and Japan are the two clear favorites, I think. I mean, Mexico is up there too. It's some of the DR as well was really good as well. Pitching wise, US and Japan are, I feel like they have A's on everything with bats, defense and pitching. I think all around Dominicans bats and defense are really good. It's just their pitching that could be their weak spot and could potentially be on the line when it comes to a close game, you know? So,
yeah, absolutely. I think if you would have asked me this question about 2 weeks ago, before all the news with Skubal only pitching the one game, with Skenes possibly only throwing 1 or 2 games, I think if you would ask me before all that came out, I would have said there's no way the U.S. loses this. Like, if Skubal was throwing a game in the playoff round, if Skenes was throwing a game in the playoff round, nobody's beating that. Like, that's the best 2 pitchers in the MLB. Like, nobody is going to be able to beat them. And I find it kind of funny that out of all teams, Tarek Skubal's pitching against Great Britain. It's like, bro, you couldn't wait 1 more week for your start to go against like Venezuela or the DR or some team like that. But I mean, obviously, I know both of you guys as Tigers fans, the last thing you want to see is Tarek Skubal get hurt before the season. So I get it. I really do. But what are you going to say, Jace?
We want him to throw his arm out at the end of this season in the playoffs.
Jeez. So, Jace, I'm going to ask you this question right here. What is your championship game matchup, and who is your winner of the WBC?
I haven't looked a lot at like the stand or like how the bracket works and everything, how the seating, but I'm assuming it's like just like a typical.
Yeah, I think
typical
it's like
tournament seating.
Yeah, I think it's like the top two teams in each division like make it to the like bracket round. But I don't know what side of the bracket plays who. So just give your 2 favorites, excluding everything with the bracket. Just 2 favorites, who you think will make it there, and who's your winner.
I think the clear-cut pick is USA-Japan, a repeat of 23.
Yeah. Who's your winner?
US this time, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Sam, same question. What's the matchup, and who's the winner?
I would hope the matchup would be USA-Japan again. I feel like in 23, that game was a banger. Like, that was some good ball being played, you know, with the storybook with Mike Trout, Shohei facing each other and all that. It should be them. Mike.
Wow. He's going with Japan.
I want Japan to win that.
Yeah, pretty boring on my end as well, but I am picking the U.S. and Japan. But I'm going to pick the U.S. to win. I think they've got the team to do it. And hopefully the pitching will be good enough this time around, because last WBC, that's what kind of screwed the U.S. when, I mean, I can't even name who the starting pitchers were on that U.S. team in 23. I mean, geez, it was bad. But, I mean, hoping for a little more this time. But before we kind of go into the second half of the episode here, the one last question I want to ask with the WBC is, do you think this should maybe move to like how hockey is, and other sports where it's in the middle of the season kind of replace the All-Star break every 2 years? Or do you think it should stay in the before the season kind of timeline? If you guys have any opinions on that. Jace, what are your thoughts?
I think it's perfect how it is now because it's in spring training. It's like getting the players ready for the season, and the MLB All-Star break is actually still really good compared to like the other All-Star breaks, which are pretty terrible now. Whereas like if they did it in the middle of the season, like in the All-Star break, you wouldn't get the All-Star break. And one thing that's kind of sucked for the NHL is like some players who like didn't make the Olympics because like their country didn't represent, or like didn't make the Four Nations because their countries weren't represented. They weren't able to be like honored or like selected to the All-Star if they were having like a good season. They weren't able to be selected to the All-Star game. And just keeping that spot open just leaves a spot for like players to get accolades and like just accomplishments in their career.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sam, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree 100% with Jace. I mean,
Okay.
it would be cool to kind of see something like the WBC happen in the middle of the season when players are already ramped up. They've gotten halfway through their season, they're kind of getting into the playoff race and stuff like that, kind of thinking ahead. So that would be pretty interesting, but I like the fact how it's during spring training games start, and then you got the WBC happening, and then boom, you're at opening day, So I think it's a good kind of segue leading into the beginning of the year. But it would be kind of interesting to see something like that happen in the middle of the season,
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought I saw that question on X today, and I figured I would bring that up just because everybody was kind of like, oh, this would fix the whole issue of pitchers not pitching entirely. I'm like, no, it wouldn't, because the teams that they play for are still going to they're still going to load manage them. Like, they're not going to let them go out there and throw 115 pitches twice in the WBC in the middle of the season. Like, that isn't going to change. That's the one difference between baseball and hockey, because like hockey, yes, like injuries are going to happen. Like Sidney Crosby got hurt in the Olympics, etc. But like baseball is completely different as a pitcher.
Kevin Fiala.
It's like a pitcher, if you screw up your elbow, you're done for the year. Shout out the Kings for Sam. But yeah, I mean, there's no point in moving it. Keep it how it is. I think it's perfect, like you guys said, in spring training. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got any final notes here? Go ahead.
The MLB All-Star break, what is it, like 5 days, like 4 or 5 days total between games?
Yeah.
Like between like going into the All-Star break and then coming out of the All-Star break?
It's
and
very
the
brief.
Baseball Classic would just be like, it's what, like 2 weeks? Week and a half?
I think it might be like 2.5 weeks, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
In baseball, I think is by far the most, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like when you get into baseball and you get right out, it's kind of hard to get back in because it's the most technical and it's the most like mindset, and you get hot and cold more than you do in any other sport.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to step away and come back right where you left off,
Completely agree. And like I've said many times, it just wouldn't make sense with the pitchers, especially in the middle of the season. Like, they're used to their 4 or 5 days rest. Like, they've been pitching throughout the whole season with the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tried to like fit it into like a week, then they would be getting like 1 day's rest, and then no pitcher would ever participate because that's just asking for injuries. So the people that are out here throwing out this idea, keep your mouth shut. Let's just stick with the way the WBC is. It's great. We enjoy it. I'm glad they brought it back after COVID. I mean, it was fantastic in 23. I'm hoping it's the same in 20 and 26 this year. So looking forward to it. We're going to jump into our commercial here, our little break, and then we will hop into the second half predictions for the MLB season, this upcoming season. We'll see you guys after the break. Let's be honest. Most golf clothing hasn't changed in decades. It's stiff, boxy, and built for clubhouse dress codes, but not for real life. That's why we created Focus Golf.
Focus Golf is a modern golf clothing line designed for performance, comfort, and style, on the course and everywhere else. Its lightweight, breathable fabrics, an athletic fit, clean and versatile designs that move with you, not against you. This is gear you can play 18 holes in, hit the range, and still wear straight to dinner without thinking twice.
There's no loud patterns, no outdated styles, just sharp golf apparel built for how the game is actually played today. So if you're done choosing between comfort and style, it's time to upgrade.
Check out Focus Golf at the All Sports Focus Network website and use code FG10 for 10% off your first order.
Focus Golf. Built for golf, worn everywhere. All right, so we're back from the break here. We're going to be doing a little preseason, just kind of preview of the whole MLB season itself, focusing on all the 30 teams now. And if you don't know, just for a little clarification, those two are obviously Tigers fans. So they will have a little bias towards Detroit, and I will have a little bias towards Toronto as the hat I'm wearing. So just want to give everybody a quick and clear kind of clarification on that in case any of our predictions a little later on seem a little biased, because they probably will be. Just kind of looking at a little preview
Bias
here.
warning.
Yeah, bias warning. I want to give a quick shout out here, though, to the Detroit Tigers. I think they have had a great offseason getting Framber Valdez. I think that was a huge signing. And getting Justin Verlander, a nice veteran presence coming back to Detroit. I think that was a great move for Detroit. Kind of build around Skubal, just because this is kind of, you don't want to say it's your last push with Skubal, but it almost feels like it's your last push. But
100%.
yeah, it is. I mean, I didn't want to have to say it, but
Just
I mean,
by the look. Right,
It
just
is.
by the look of the arbitration case alone, you can just tell that they have one more chance, and their chance is 2026, right? So
Signing Framber was saying we have our replacement for Skubal.
yeah,
right.
yeah. I was completely shocked when Framber Valdez went to the Tigers, though. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't even know that was like on the radar. I didn't even.
Me too.
I saw it was on the radar, but I never thought it would actually happen. I didn't think we would go out and spend the money, because we never do.
Yeah, especially during the arbitration hearing too, when it was just coming up, and people were speculating that like we gave Framber all that money just because we won the arbitration case, but in a sense we lost it, and we still paid him that much money. So it kind of does show that, like what Jay said, we have the replacement for Derek Skubal. So it's a bit heartbreaking, but
We know he's gone.
it happens.
Yeah, it's kind of
I would
tough to
honestly,
beat when.
anywhere but the Dodgers. Actually, anywhere but the AL. I do not
Hopefully-
want to be facing him multiple times a year.
I agree with that as a Blue Jays fan. I'd rather not see him in the playoffs. If whatever team he's on makes the playoffs, but
Did he
it's kind of tough to
disappear
beat
again?
when the Los Angeles Dodgers kind of just
Yeah, I think
chuck out.
Kevin McGonigal's a stud.
Yeah, they just got money flying out of their ass at this point.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear me?
And like they
Yeah,
didn't get,
Barlow, we can't see you though.
got Austin Slater and Corey Julks, so I think they're just heavily relying on McGonigal to be ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
There's a lot of
I'm-
trust in the farm system there. So it'll play out, hopefully.
Yeah,
With a lot.
yeah, so I mean, just everything with Skubal. I mean, it's tough when the Los Angeles Dodgers can literally just chuck $1 billion at whoever they so please, especially with the big kind of storyline of this offseason was Kyle Tucker. What are your guys' thoughts on that whole situation? Because, I mean, it's leading towards a lockout. I mean, this is really what it's leading towards. I mean, this whole kind of Dodgers paying everybody. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? We'll go to Jace first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think everybody saw it coming once they were interested, that there was no shot that like once you get a player interested in the Dodgers, that's good. You don't really have much of a chance unless they have the mindset of who was the pitcher that the Astros signed from Japan? I don't remember his name, but I think he was the one that was like, going to the Dodgers, I want to beat him.
Can't
Unless
even
you have
remember
that
his name.
mindset, I can't see a player not going to the Dodgers if they have a chance to.
Mm-hmm.
The player
Yeah.
almost in itself would have to hate the Dodgers that much to not want to get paid by them and go somewhere else and be like, have that mindset of, yeah, I want to kick their ass kind of mindset. So
Yeah,
and
I mean,
all the whole salary situation too with the what's the word? I'm blanking on it. All the deferred money. Like that's
Yeah,
I find that to be a bit ridiculous at certain points. I mean,
yeah. Because they're paying Shohei like $2 million a year, and then deferring the.
yeah, they're paying him $2 million a year, and then it's all deferred money out to like 2069, dude. It's
So-
stupid.
what other sport have you seen anything like that? Like NFL, NBA, NHL, whatever sport it may be,
No,
you're not just seeing
None. I mean,
anybody be like, "Oh, I'm going to go sign the top player in free agency, but I'm only going to pay him 1 million, but then I'll pay him the rest of his contract after he's done playing." Like, what does that even mean?
after he's retired, I'll give him his money. Yeah,
Like-
I guess it's what you get for not having a salary cap. I think this is kind of just the
all the other sports, even though like I know the NFL isn't like a strict salary cap, they have a salary cap which prevents all of this from happening.
I think they need to implement. I think it will be coming, and a lot of teams are on the opposite end of this, like the Oakland, well, not the Oakland A's anymore, whatever fucking city they're in now. The A's.
Las Vegas, I believe.
Las Vegas, Sacramento, wherever they are out west. And then you got teams like the Marlins and the Pirates, and it's like they don't want to spend money because their owners are cheap. But then, Rockies too. But then you got teams like the Mets. And the Pirates were? Yeah, they did. I think they spent like $100 million in the offseason for the first time in like franchise history. So I won't include the Pirates in that, but there are some teams out there that are going to argue against making because I think there needs to be a salary cap floor and a salary cap ceiling. I think there needs to be both, because it needs to that's the only way to make it competitive, because otherwise you'll just get teams like those bottom feeder teams who are just like, oh, we're not going to spend any money because the owner's cheap and our team's going to suck and we don't care. But then you'll get teams like the Dodgers and the Mets and even the Blue Jays are in that category where they just spend $300+ million and just have better rosters straight up because they just are willing to pay more money. So I think a salary cap is needed and is incoming, but more focused on this upcoming season. We're going to start predicting some division winners here, starting off in the AL. We're going to start off in the Blue Jays AL East. I think this is the best division in baseball. I really do. I think there is quite possibly 4 teams. You could maybe argue, I mean, the Rays are just always kind of sneaky. They're always kind of up there for some reason. I don't know why. But who, like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and the Orioles are all good teams. They all have chances to make the playoffs. So we're just going to go around the horn here. Jace, who is your AL East winner for this upcoming season?
I could see like one of 4 teams, because I mean, I think Baltimore will have a bounce back year, because I think last year was like the absolute rock bottom. Like they had like everybody underperformed. So I think they'll have a bounce back year. But I think I liked the Red Sox last year. I'm not a Red Sox fan, but like I like their team. I just like the way, like while watching the Tigers play against them, like they have a really good lineup and just everybody hits. Plus they have Crochet, and then I think they just got Sonny Gray. So like I think I see the Red Sox winning that division.
Brady's going to love you for that one. Sam, who is your pick for the AL East winner?
I could agree. I could agree with the Red Sox. I can see them, especially when you have Roman Anthony back and he's getting up to shape. He's going to be, he can definitely be a big problem. But I could also see Toronto having another year. Well, at least this year, winning the East. They're in the World Series. Sorry, Barlow, that they couldn't do it. But I think that they still have a very solid team.
I was trying my hardest to avoid
it's going to be them or the Red Sox.
Series. I was trying so hard to just not bring that up. I was like, that's in the past. It happened, but I hate Andy Pages. Right? I hate Andy Pages with every ounce of my body for catching that pop up in the bottom of the 9th inning. If he's not in that game, we're World Series champions. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, I agree. Yeah. I like the Red Sox as a team, but like I pre-warned you with the bias incoming, I'm picking the Blue Jays to win the East. I really think if we can get the most out of the Dylan Cease signing, if we can get like prime Chicago White Sox Dylan Cease plus Kevin Gausman, I think it's a very good 1-2 punch in the rotation. And if Vladdy has another great year, the only one down spot is we're just going to have to fill the opening in the lineup of Boba. Obviously, he was a big-time hitter. Our defense will be 10 times better, but our offense, obviously, will miss him a little bit. But I'm still going to pick the Blue Jays. I mean, I know sure as hell I ain't picking the Yankees. You'll never see me pick the Yankees. Throughout this whole year on this podcast, I don't care if the Yankees are favored by 15 runs against the Colorado Rockies. I'm going to pick the Rockies. I hate the Yankees with every single ounce of my body. So, all right, moving on to the AL Central here. the Detroit Tigers division. Jace, who is your winner of the AL Central?
I think I would honestly say in our division, like, not many teams did a lot this offseason. I mean, Cleveland extended J-Ram, but like besides that, they didn't do much. Minnesota, I mean, they're just young and they're rebuilding. I don't see them doing anything. Chicago, I think Chicago did some good additions to their squad with Munetaka Murakami especially. So I think he could be really good, but I don't think they have like all the pieces yet, but I think some of the pieces are definitely there for Chicago. And then the Royals, I don't really remember them making any big moves. And I think they're still pretty old. And I think ultimately the Tigers are going to win it. But I don't know, Cleveland they find a way to win with nobody.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. It's like Cleveland and Tampa Bay. It's like, I don't know how they do it or how they win this many games consistently, but it's like, every year that they're going to be at least decent or at least up there. I don't know how, especially in Cleveland, besides J-Ram. I mean, Stephen Kwan, I really don't understand it, but.
Right.
So, yeah, Jace, go ahead and finish up on that pick.
Holy.
Well, I think the Tigers are going to win it just because they were good last year in the first half, and then the second half they played like the worst baseball they could have possibly played. But then you made the additions with Framber and JV, but JV is kind of just to fill the hole of Reese Olson. I mean, we kind of all saw that come in as soon as we signed JV. It was like, oh no, who's injured again? But I think Skubal and Framber are going to be able to win us a lot of games alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then with hopefully Kevin McGonigal starting, hopefully he can make an impact. And I mean, the team's still pretty young. And then we were able to re-sign Glaber. So I think hopefully they'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, who's your pick to win the AL Central?
My pick to win the AL Central is obviously Detroit. They got a good squad. Just on paper they do. They're young. They've been in the playoffs they've been in the playoffs 2 years now. They're becoming consistent, That's why they're starting to make this push with all the signings, and even with some of the relievers re-signing Kyle Finnegan and getting Jensen too. Just having a vet there is always nice, and just kind of same with JV. Just even with JV, it's a good signing to have, just to have that guy on your team. And he's been in the organization for a very long time now, and he's coming back to cap off his Hall of Fame career, and just hopefully win a championship with the Tigers. That'd be pretty amazing. That'd be awesome. But you never know. I also think too the White Sox are gonna have a good year. I think they're gonna bounce back pretty well. That's kind of my hope with getting Murakami and also getting Luis Angel Acuna Jr. from the Mets in that trade is also good. He's a young player. You can build him up. That's gonna be awesome. It sucks seeing Lubov go, but they kind of got their young star replacement, and hopefully he can stay with the organization and kind of make that something. Make nothing out of something,
Yeah.
Make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Worded that wrong. Make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll be a good division. And the Guardians are just sneaky every year, and they somehow are at the top, either one or two. And it's beyond me, because on paper you don't look at them and be like, yeah, they can win 85 games. The two that you see is J-Ram and Stephen Kwan. But at the end of the day, they're sneaky and they're going to be good. So it'll be competitive again for sure.
This is always a close and competitive division, I feel like. The Guardians are always up there. I mean, shout out Troy Painter, who's a huge White Sox fan, but I mean, they've been awful the last couple of years, so hopefully they have a little bit of a better year. I think the Royals will have a little bit of a better year too. I think Bobby Witt will be able to kind of carry them to some wins just with how good of a player he is. But I got the Detroit Tigers winning it. I seriously think you could take a couple of the bats out of this Tigers lineup and they would still win this division just based off their pitching. Like I said with the Blue Jays, with their 1-2 punch, I think the Tigers have, I would argue, the best 1-2 punch in baseball. with Framber Valdez and Tarek Skubal. So that alone, I think, is going to win them this division. So moving on here to the AL West, the Seattle Mariners won it last year, and they were in the ALCS against the Blue Jays. So, Jace, who is your pick to win the AL West?
I think it's the Mariners division to lose. I think Mariners are going to win it again. But I also see Texas having a bounce back year, Astros having a bounce back year, and then the A's. The A's are weird because they have all their young guns, all their young stars, but they don't have pitching. Their pitching is pretty abysmal, but they have obviously Nick Kurtz and all their other young stars, and I just think they could out hit, just win games based on offense alone. It's really going to depend how good they can pitch. But I do think the Mariners, they got Josh Naylor back, and I just hated playing against them. Their pitching is phenomenal, and they just have to score a few runs every game. Like, it's so frustrating to watch.
That ALCS was like painful. I mean, it was just like, God, will they? Because you feel like you get to the bottom of their order, and then somehow they just always sneak on base, and then it's Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor, and you're just like, my Lord, is this ever going to stop? So, yeah, before we go to Sam, I mean, I'm just going to real quickly say I'm picking the Mariners as well. I think they're going to win this AL West this year, but I agree with everything Jay said. So, Sam, who is your winner for the AL West?
I also have the Mariners. I believe that they are the clear favorites in this division. Both Texas teams have really good potential as well. I mean, if they can get some of their pitching together, it'll be a good division, and including like with the Athletics too. Re-signing Jacob Wilson was huge just for the organization, just to have a guy just be like, yeah, I'm loyal to this and I want to help in bringing this team up. It's huge, and you just kind of have to start working around that, and that might happen next year. It might start happening now, but you have to kind of work around that, and it's just a matter of if they're going to do that or not. So I got the Mariners, but it could be.
You can never count out the Houston Astros. It feels like they're always up there. I feel like the Texas Rangers, who were World Series champs 2 years ago, they will be up there. I mean, or 3 years ago, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still some good teams in that division. All right, so moving on here to the National League side of the league, starting off in the NL East. Jace, who is your winner of the NL East this season?
So I think the NL East is kind of up for grabs. The Phillies could win it. The Braves could have a bounce back season and come back and win it. The Mets could win it. But I don't see the Marlins or Nationals winning it, although I do think the Marlins are like a sneaky good team. Like, I think they can cause some ruckus, just like they have good young players. And then I think the Mets are ultimately going to win it because they just got Freddie Peralta, and I think last year was kind of an anomaly. Like, because the year before, 2 years ago, the Mets were a really good team, went to the NLCS and lost to the Dodgers. But I think they have the pieces, especially with Soto and Lindor. It's just a matter of putting them all together. And the Alonso loss will hurt them, but I think they'll end up winning the division anyways.
Sam, who's your winner?
For me, it's between the Mets and the Phillies. I think that Atlanta has a good chance of, if Acuna can stay healthy, they're gonna have a good shot. Miami, I don't think they're gonna win it. They have a young team. They're still rebuilding, but in the future, for sure, I could definitely see them up for grabs for that. Nationals, I don't think they've really done a whole lot. I could be completely off about this, but I don't think they've done a whole lot during this offseason on trying to seek out more players. They got good young talent. James Wood, if he can keep rolling, he's going to be great and kind of help that organization. But just the Mets, with all the acquisitions that they're getting Lou Bob and throwing him in the outfield with Soto is going to be pretty awesome to see. And I've always been a Lou Bob fan, even when he was in Chicago. And to me, his potential was just not where it should be, just based off of where he was at in Chicago. So seeing him, I would like to see him go somewhere else than the Mets, but at least he's out of Chicago and he can start performing pretty well and be surrounded by a lot of good players that can help bring him up even faster. So I think for me, it's going to be the Mets.
Okay. If correct me if I'm wrong here, but Marcus Semien got traded to the Mets as well, right? If I remember that correctly without looking it up. I believe he's on the
so.
Mets, right? Okay,
Maybe.
I'm going to go with the assumption that not that Marcus
I
Semien
can-
is like that big of a deal, but I think it's going to be the Mets that win this NL East as well. I really wanted to pick the Braves. I feel like they were going to have a good bounce back year, but it all is so reliant on the health of that pitching staff because it seems like every single year the Braves pitching staff just gets absolutely destroyed by injuries. And last year their only real healthy pitcher was Chris Sale, and you can't really rely on Chris Sale to be your only pitcher. I mean, that's just never going to work. So, I mean, but the Mets, I think that
Right.
that lineup with Bo Bichette, with Jorge Polanco, with Lindor, with Juan Soto, with Luis Robert, I mean, they've got countless studs up and down that roster. I just think the one Achilles heel will be defense for the Mets with two guys in the corner with Polanco and Bichette who have basically like never played those positions before. So that'll be very interesting to watch to see kind of how much the defense really affects that, but it's going to be pretty obvious that team's going to be able to put up a lot of runs with the amount of firepower in that lineup. So moving on here to the NL Central, always a pretty good division here, but Gage, I mean, golly, I keep calling you Gage. I can't get it out of my head. Jace, who is your winner of the NL Central?
So obviously Milwaukee won it last year, kind of had a terrible start and then kind of came out of nowhere and just won everything after that. And even though they did that, they lost Freddie Peralta. So I do think the Cubs are going to win the division. I mean, they were good last year. And if you can get PCA to not have the first half he had, but had just played decent. And then they obviously signed Bregman, which I think is huge for them because I think Bregman he's a good player. Like he'll hit bombs, he'll come up clutch. He's just a good ball player, and I think he's going to add a lot to that already young Cubs team who's on the come up. Obviously, I mean they went to the division series last year, so I think they'll just keep building on that, and I think they'll end up winning this division this year. Although I do think
Sam?
the Pirates made a lot of great moves, and I think they'll be better. I mean, obviously, I think they'll be better than they were last year, but I do think they can cause a stir up because, I mean, obviously, Skenes alone is just an amazing piece. Plus, they added a couple bats, so we'll see what they can do.
Sam, who is your winner of the NL Central here?
Yeah, I got the Cubs winning this. They made a lot of big offseason pushes especially with Bregman. Bregman's going to help that team out a whole bunch. Offense, just going nuclear, just having a solid guy in the corner is you need that on your defense. You need a guy that can scoop up that 100+ mile per hour ball coming at you down the line and to make a play to first, From the videos I've seen, I know that Bo Bichette's not doing that. The videos I've seen of Bo Bichette ground balls, I should get signed to the Mets organization and play for them because
trust me,
what I'm seeing from Bo Bichette's crazy. I was going to mention that earlier, but
watching him play shortstop the last couple of years, I mean, trust me, it's like he makes the routine plays look like it's like a miracle that he fields it. But yeah,
and just to have that. Yes, he has a great bat, but to have that sort of liability, especially on the corners, that could possibly be a double every single time. If you can just get it on the line, that's a double every time you hit it there. So having him there is going to be great. But yeah, just all the pushes that they've made this offseason is going to make them great with PCA. Also, just having another year, getting some more experience, he's gonna be something. Pirates also can get into the mix a little bit, but yeah, I got the Cubs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give a quick shout out to a team here that snuck in the playoffs last year as the 6th seed. The Cincinnati Reds. They got Suarez back to get a big DH bat in there, third baseman. Ellie De La Cruz, I mean, you can't count them out with Hunter Green and those pitchers and Chase Burns. I mean, can't count the Reds out. I think my prediction here is that they finish second and the Cubs do end up winning this division in first. And I completely agree with what Jay said about PCA. I think if he literally can his second half of the season was terrible. His first half of the season was like unbelievably good. If he can just like split the middle and just be good, I think that'll be more than enough for the Cubs. Just be consistent and not like, I mean, it was like polar opposites of his halves of the season. If he can kind of just figure that out, I think the Cubs will win the NL Central this year. Yeah, not really much to say about this next division here, the NL West. I do think the Colorado Rockies might be able to win the NL West this year. They might surprise some people. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. It was a joke. The Los Angeles Dodgers will win this division.
If they sign the whole Dodgers team.
I mean, anybody fighting me on that the Dodgers are going to win this division, I mean, I don't even want to talk about them. Can we just like move on? Everybody agree with that?
I think it's like,
Yeah.
if you bet on anybody but the Dodgers, you're just praying to make money. It's like, it's just throwing away your money.
That's just a donation to DraftKings if you bet on anybody else to win that division other than the Dodgers. So,
They're just,
all right. So the last part of our
stupid.
little prediction
All right,
segment.
who's winning number 2? Who's getting number 2 in the West?
That's actually a good prediction we can do. Yeah, Jace, who do you think will
Let's
get
talk about
that.
second?
Let's talk
Who do you
about
think
that.
will get second in the NL West?
the
Padres.
Padres.
Sam, who do you think?
Yeah, they were good last year. I think they kind of underperformed last year.
Yeah, I
But,
agree with that.
I mean, Tatis had an amazing start to the season, then he kind of cooled down. But I mean, the back end of their bullpen is just unbelievable. Mason Miller is stupid good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, for me,
Sam, yeah.
I sneaky, but the Diamondbacks. I think the Diamondbacks can make something to work. You get Ketel Marte back. I think just along with that and just having a solid core around that with decent pitching, I think if you can just make routine plays and just have good offense, the Diamondbacks are going to be in good shape. But the Padres are probably the favorite to be second, but I don't want to count out the Diamondbacks, so I'm going to mention the Diamondbacks and just put that out there. So, yeah.
I like the Diamondbacks pick, but I think the big question mark around them is Corbin Carroll's health and if he will be ready to go by opening day. I haven't, and Corbin Burns, yes, even and him too. I mean, those are two really big pieces on that lineup, so their health is very important to that team. But I think the Padres will get second. I just think they have too much firepower. I mean, Xander Bogaerts, Tatis, Machado. I mean, it's just coming out. And Mason Miller, like Jay said, I mean, I think they're going to get second. And you could argue that they could win any other division if they weren't in the division with the Dodgers. So they're a good team. I think they'll make the playoffs in a wild card spot. So the last little prediction here we're going to give based on teams before we hop into our awards prediction is we're going to give our World Series matchup here just as a little preseason pick so we can look back in October when the actual World Series comes around and see who is actually correct on this. So, Jace, who is your kind of prediction as the World Series matchup and your winner? Putting you on the spot.
Obviously, the Dodgers are coming out of the NL. I mean, I'm not going to say it's anybody else until I see it actually happen. I want to believe like a team can beat them, but I think no matter who they play, they're going to win. So I think they're going to win it all. In the AL, I could see being pretty open. Like, I could see Toronto going back, but it kind of depends on if they fill the spot of Bichette, how good of a year Vladdy has. And then the AL's just weird because, I mean, I could see the Mariners going, but I think the Red Sox are going to go. I think the Red Sox are going to have a really good year.
Are you picking the Dodgers
So I
to
think
win,
the
or are
Red
you
Sox.
picking the Red Sox to upset?
The Dodgers are going to win no matter who they play. Until I see it happen, they're going to win.
Sam?
In the NL, it's 2 for me. What I want to believe is the Mets. I just want a team other than the Dodgers. Just in my opinion, it's most likely going to be the Dodgers, but just having a new face there would be great. And I think the one team that could do it is the Mets, with all the additions that they've had. And if they can just keep rolling and just if everybody kind of just doesn't do too much, I know it's kind of weird to say, but I think that kind of goes to what with PCA when we talked about him having a terrible second half. I think all that the first half leading up to it, he just was like, oh, I need to put this whole team on my back sort of mentality. And I think that inherently kind of killed that season for him, just trying to do too much and not just make contact with the ball. And if everybody on the Mets has that sort of mentality of just get on base and we'll work from there, I think they can make it to the World Series. In the AL, it's tricky. It is tricky. I want to believe the Tigers. I want to believe that they can make that push to the World Series, but I also can see Seattle making that push as well. They've been very consistent. Like Andy said earlier, you get to the bottom of the lineup and then it's you got hell, right? With Cal Riley in there, Josh Naylor in the mix, Rosarena. It's just Rodriguez. You're just like, holy, how do I get through this? And they're pitching phenomenal. They got a squad. So my kind of two for each division is the Mariners and the Tigers in the AL and the Mets and the Dodgers in the NL. But I personally think the Dodgers are going to win this series, in my opinion. You can't beat that. You go down the line on that team. It's like every player on their lineup could be a star player somewhere else. And it's ridiculous. You look at their pitching, every single pitcher could be an ace on a different organization. It is wild. So I'm going to have to say the Dodgers winning the World Series, not the fucking Super Bowl. The World Series.
Yeah, I really want so badly to pick somebody else other than the Dodgers to win the NL, but the fact that like you could argue that like Freddie Freeman or Mookie Betts is their like third or fourth best player, any way you want to rank and order that team. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like, who is beating that team? Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman play anywhere else, excluding a couple other teams. They are the best player on the team. There's no doubt. But then you got guys like Shohei and Yamamoto, and it's like, what the hell? But on the AL side is way more interesting. As badly as I want to pick the Blue Jays again, I am going to go a little away from the bias here because I think the Blue Jays run last year was amazing. I mean, it was a blast. They were the 1 seed, everything like that. But it was also very reliant on a crazy postseason from Vladdy, a crazy postseason from Ernie Clement, and you just can't always count on a guy like Ernie Clement, who was batting 7-hole, to have an unbelievable postseason and be able to put up all those RBIs and everything like that. For that reason, I mentioned them earlier, I think the Seattle Mariners will get the job done this year and go to the World Series. But like we've all said, nobody's touching the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers are going to three-peat, and then they're probably going to go, hopefully they don't go into a lockout, but I mean, if the Dodgers three-peat, baseball might be in question for the next season. So hoping somebody can pull off the upset, but yeah, those are our picks for the World Series. The last little part here before we end this episode, we're going to predict our award winners for the 2 major awards, so the MVP and the Cy Young for each conference here. Starting off in the AL, Aaron Judge has won back-to-back MVPs, but will he go three-peat? Jace, who is your pick for AL MVP?
It's so boring predicting the MVP because I don't think you can say anything other than Judge or Shohei. Because I think Cal Raleigh had a phenomenal year last year and he still didn't win MVP over Judge. Like, I don't know who in the AL could win it over Judge. Like, I don't see it happening. I think Judge is going to win it again.
So I'm just going to ask this right here. I mean, we'll save a little time on the episode. Does everybody have Shohei and Judge winning the 2 MVPs? I do. I mean, that's what I have written down. If everybody has that, we'll just move.
I mean, I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah, I wanted so badly to.
It could be
pick like
Cal Riley had a.
Yeah, I wanted to pick Bobby Witt or someone like that, or Cal Raleigh, but like. There's nobody beating Judge and Shohei. I mean,
it's not going to match the amount of homers.
Even like J-Ram, as much as I wouldn't want that because he's in the Tigers division, I could see him having an MVP campaign this year. Even it's hard to say that, but when you see Cal Riley put up the numbers he did last year and just not win MVP, like that was, in my opinion, a little crazy. In some instances, but it's hard to beat it's hard to beat Judge and Shohei. It's just hard, you know.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question then before we predict the Cy Young. Does everybody have Skubal and Skenes winning Cy Young again, or does anybody have a different pick on that wave? Because there's a very high chance that the 4 major award winners could be the exact same 4 award winners. Obviously, baseball is one of those sports where it could very well be all 4 of them are different. But does anybody? I mean, I have AL.
Yeah.
I have Tarek Skubal winning the AL. I would assume the Tigers fans sitting here with me have Tarek Skubal winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Crochet will be right there, but for Skubal, it's a contract year. Like, I think he's going to ball out this year, especially if he probably knows this is his last year in Detroit, as much as I know that he says he loves the city and wants to be a Tiger for life. I think he knows that this is like the end of the road, and I think he wants to go out with a bang, so he's gonna ball out. And then in the NL, I think it could be Skenes, but then Yamamoto, depending on how healthy he stays, like I mean, obviously he's not going to pitch like he did in the postseason, but like I think Yamamoto's right there with Skenes.
I agree. Sam, who's your pick for the NL?
I'm agree to everything what Jay said because I'm for the NL is going to be Skenes. I think that's just kind of point blank period kind of thing. You got a guy that hucks 103 and then throws a frisbee the next pitch and just does it like it's every other day. Like it's crazy. And then like Yamamoto too. I think if he can pick up where he left off, especially after the World Series game and all that kind of leading up to that, he could definitely have a good year ahead of himself. It's just a matter of can you compete with Paul Skenes? It's going to be interesting. AL Skubal. I guess Skubal, like contract year. As much as Jason and I don't want him to go, he's probably going to go. So the last thing he could do for us is give us some good baseball to watch. And also too, like Framber might be in the conversation too. You got Framber and Tarek competing side by side with each other. You got Tarek one day and then Valdez the next day. They're going to compete. They're going to compete against each other. And I think if you can have that with Valdez being somewhat of the caliber that Skubal is, it can be very interesting, and it could be a chance where you see 2 pitchers on the same team both get nominated for Cy Young. So it'll be interesting. But
I think they'll
I
make
got Skubal.
better.
I think so too. They're going to complement each other very well, and just kind of push each other even more, and kind of build that fire up in the pitching staff all throughout. Hopefully, not even just within the starting pitchers, even the relief pitchers, having that sort of fire and that competitiveness within each other is always great, and it always makes the other person better. So.
Yeah,
I agree with everything that has been said. Go ahead, Jace. Go ahead.
For Skubal, I think, you're not keeping him, so get to the playoffs and throw him 3 out of 4 games and throw Framber the other game. Just throw his arm out.
Jeez. 500 pitches in a freaking playoff series? Golly.
Give us the best shot at a World Series.
Just pitch him all 7 games. He'll be fine. He's good. Just throw him out there. If it goes all 7, he's good. Just let him ride. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I agree with everything that was said.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I mean, I saw a picture.
Day. I know the Tigers play the Padres, so that'll be interesting.
I saw a picture of Paul Skenes' pitches.
It'll be interesting to see if McGonagall makes the roster, which at this point, I think he's forced himself onto the roster because I don't see how you could say no to him after the spring training he's had.
Yeah. I mean, the video of him hitting the 470-foot nuke shot today off the DR team. I mean, I think that just shows how good of a prospect he is. So yeah, that's gonna do it for our first episode here of the Diamond Report. You guys got any final touches here before we wrap up this kind of preseason video? Anything? Nope. All right, we're looking forward to.
I do got one to say. I got one thing to say about the WBC. Andy, I got one thing to say about the WBC. I think Mexico could have a shot to be in the final. That might be
Wow.
crazy to say, but with the run that they had last year and kind of having a lot of those guys come back, a lot of those guys getting more experience, you got some younger guys entering that squad, they could be a threat, you know? They had an amazing game against Japan in the semifinals.
they were
I
so
remember
cool.
watching that, and I was like, I was like, we're losing to Mexico. We're losing to Mexico. And then Munetaka Murakami comes in and just like samurai hit that ball into right field for a double and scored like 3 runs.
That's literally what
But
his swing.
I think Mexico could have a.
But
I
since you're
think
the fan,
Mexico.
could you
It'll be the same thing
Albert?
as last year. What?
Well, Jace.
Did you read the Pearl Harbor too, since you're a Japan fan?
No. We're not going there. We're not going there. All right, we're ending it there. We're looking forward to the WBC over these next 2 weeks. It'll be great to watch before opening day arrives. We're really looking forward to it. Should be a great little preseason tournament. It's always fun to watch. Really looking forward to opening day. We will be back with the next episode of Diamond Report. Will be right after the conclusion of the WBC. So we'll kind of recap that and then really kind of dive deep into the opening day matchups and all those kind of good things. So we really appreciate you guys for listening. Go check out all the social media pages, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. The brand new merch site is live. Go check out that. Focus Golf Line, all that good stuff. So Jace, Sam, appreciate you guys joining us. You guys got any final touches here? Anything left to say? No?
Nope.
All right. I got one last thing. Go USA. Hopefully we can win the Olympic gold in men's and women's hockey and then win the WBC. So looking forward to it. We appreciate you guys for listening as always, and we will see you guys in the next one.